Before we begin, take a moment to get comfortable. Let your arms go heavy, your breath slow. And as you listen, feel free to leave a comment sharing what time it is, where you are, and what city or village you're listening from. It's love to know. And if you'd like more quiet stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe so they gently appear when you need them most. Now, let's begin. You look at the night sky. It feels alive, okay? The stars twinkle faintly. The moon pulls tides. The galaxies spin in your imagination, vast wheels of light across the endless dark. But what if this is all an afterimage? What if the universe you know has already ended? This is the strange whisper passed from scientist to scientist, from mathematician to philosopher. It is not the usual idea of endings. No fiery explosion, no sudden collapse. It is subtler, a lot. It's quieter. It is the possibility that the story has already closed, and what remains is the memory of its light. Pause and imagine the glow of a candle. The flame flickers brightly, then disappears. But close your eyes and you still see it, a faint imprint, an afterglow lingering on your vision. Some scientists suggest that this is what the universe itself may be, that you are living not in its presence, but in its afterimage. The galaxies, you see, are impossibly far away. Their light has traveled for millions, even billions of years. Every star above you tonight is already in the past. Perhaps some have long burned out, Perhaps some galaxies no longer exist at all. And yet, their light continues to reach you. As though the cosmos is replaying itself, a finished story unspooling one frame at a time. Think of this gently. It does not mean nothing is real. It does not mean your life is a trick. It only means that the stage you stand upon may be further along in its story than you realize. The curtains may already have closed, yet you are still watching the glow of the stage lights. Pause again. Imagine walking through a forest at dusk. The sun has already dipped below the horizon. You cannot see it anymore, but the light lingers. The sky glows orange and purple, though the source is gone. The world you move through now is bathed in the memory of light that no longer shines. That is how scientists ask you to picture the cosmos, a place glowing with what has already ended. This idea is not new. Philosophers have long wondered whether reality itself is only memory, whether existence is just the echo of something past. But modern physics has begun to give the thought a sharper edge. Equations describing the fate of the universe sometimes suggest that its grand unfolding is already over. The universe may have reached what they call heat death, when all energy is spread thin, when no new stars can be born. And yet, the traces remain. It's like a letter you continue to read long after the hand has left the page. Pause once more. Imagine a song ending. The last note fades into silence. But in your mind, the melody continues. You hum it without realizing. You remember its rhythm. The universe may be that note, long ended, but echoing in your awareness. This does not mean despair. It does not mean futility. It means the universe is larger than your sense of time. It may already be whole, beginning to end. You may be walking through the completed book, page by page, even though the story was finished long ago. And isn't that how dreams often feel? You wake, you recall scenes, but you cannot tell whether they happen in sequence or all at once. Perhaps reality itself is a dream of something already complete. Science offers analogies. When you look at the sun, you do not see it as it is now. You see it as it was 8 minutes ago. When you look at distant galaxies, You see them as they were billions of years ago. Every glance into the sky is a glance into the past. So why not imagine that the whole universe is already past? That what you call the present is only the unfolding of memory, light carrying the echo of what has already ended. Pause again. Imagine standing at the edge of a canyon. Hear call out, and the sound bounces back to you. The echo is not the voice, but it is still sound. It fills your ears. It feels alive. The cosmos may be that canyon in what you see. Every star, every galaxy may be its echo. You live in the echo, and the echo is enough. There is comfort in this idea, because it means you are safe inside something vast. Even if the story has ended, you still walk within it. You are not outside of it. You are part of its afterglow, woven into the memory of the universe itself. Your life, your breath, your dreams, tonight, they belong to the echo. Some scientists smile at the poetry of this. They know their equations are precise, but their implications are mysterious. What does it mean to say the universe may already be finished? It means that time may not be what you think. It may not be linear. It may not flow from start to finish like a river. It may be layered, circular, simultaneous, and if that is true, then the end may already exist at the same time as the beginning. You may be living in a fabric where all of it is already there, woven together. Pause once more. Imagine holding a tapestry in your hands. The entire pattern exists at once, beginning, middle, end. Your eyes move across it, but the design is already complete. The universe may be that tapestry. Your life is the act of moving your gaze from one thread to another. The story is not unfinished. The story is already whole. But you experience it as though it unfolds. This idea leads naturally into the next reflection. If the universe has already ended, then perhaps what you call time is not what it seems. Perhaps time is not a flowing river, but a circle. Perhaps it is a dimension like space, already stretched out and full. Perhaps the end and the beginning are side by side, touching. The next chapter belongs to this mystery, to the possibility that time is illusion, that the end and the beginning exist together, and that your place within it is not a fleeting moment, but a thread inside an eternal whole. Asterisk, the thought lingers. What if the universe is already finished? What if all you see now is a glow of its afterimage? To even imagine this, you must loosen your grip on what you think time is, because for most of your life, time feels simple. It flows forward. One moment replaces the last. The past drifts behind you. The future stretches ahead, and you stand in the middle, in a thin slice you call now. But what if this is only appearance? What if time is not a straight line, but something softer, stranger, more like a circle or a landscape where every part exists together? Pause and imagine a river. It flows past you, carrying water downstream. That is how you think of time. It moves, it carries you along. But now, imagine climbing above the river, looking down from a mountain. From here, you see the whole course, its bends, its twists, its path from spring to sea. The river is not just the water passing you now. It is the entire shape, already complete. Time may be like that. You see only the water rushing past. But, from another perspective, the whole shape exists at once. Science hints at this possibility. Einstein's theory of relativity treats time as a dimension, woven with space into space-time. In this view, past, present, and future are all equally real. You only experience them in sequence because of how your mind moves through them. It is like walking through a painting. Your eyes see one part at a time, but the entire canvas was already there. Pause again. Imagine a book on a shelf. You open it to one page. You read the words. For you, the story is unfolding. but the book already contains its ending. Every page already exists. Your reading simply reveals them one by one. Time may be that book. Tie. Life is one reading of its pages, but the story from birth to end, from universe to silence, already exists in full. Some scientists call this the block universe. It suggests that time does not flow at all. Instead, the entire timeline exists together. Every event, every moment, every thought. The future is as real as the past. You're simply walking through it, one step at a time. And if this is true, then endings are not really endings. They are simply another place in the block, a page in the book, a curve in the river. Pause once more. Imagine a circle drawn in sand. It has no start. It has no end. Every point touches another. If time is like this, then what you call the end already touches the beginning. Perhaps the universe has ended. Perhaps it has begun again. Perhaps those two truths are one and the same. This thought feels strange. It bends your sense of daily life, where clocks tick and seasons pass. But consider your dreams. Inside them, time feels fluid. Moments stretch or collapse. You live hours in seconds, or seconds in hours. You wake unsure of order, perhaps waking. Life is similar, a dream of sequence inside something timeless. Science explores this too. Quantum mechanics suggests that particles can exist in many states at once until observed. What you call the present may simply be the act of observation. Choosing one frame from a fabric where all frames already exist. Time, then, may not be flow. It may be pattern. It may be tapestry, and your mind is the hand moving across the threads. Pause again. Imagine holding a woven cloth. Its pattern is complete, but you place your finger on one line, moving across slowly. You see only the part beneath your finger. That is how you experience time. But the whole design was always there. The past is not gone. The future is not waiting. Okay, they are simply other threads of the same fabric. This brings comfort, cause it means nothing is ever lost. Every moment still exists, held within the block. Your childhood, your first breath, your future dreams, all still alive in the fabric. You simply cannot see them at once. And if the universe has ended, it still exists, forever woven into the fabric of time. You are walking through its echo, but the echo is real. Pause once more. Imagine music written on a page. You hear it unfold, note by note. But to the composer, the entire piece is already there, silent but whole. Your life is the performance. The universe is the score. The end is already written, but that does not stop the song from singing. Philosophers reflect on this gently. If time is illusion, then endings are illusion too. The cosmos may already be complete, but for you, it continues. Each moment unfolds like a bead on a string, and you live it as though it were new. This is the gift of illusion. It lets you feel time as a journey, though the path was already drawn. Pause again. Imagine closing your eyes tonight. You sleep, and within your dreams, you feel time flowing. Hours pass in moments. Stories unfold. And yet, when you wake, you realize the dream had no true sequence. It was whole from the start. Perhaps reality is like this too. Perhaps you were dreaming inside the universe, believing in sequence, while in truth, you are already living inside the whole. This brings us gently to the next reflection. If time is illusion, then what you see in the night sky may be afterimages, cosmic light lingering in vision, like the echo of a candle after the flame is gone. Asterisk if time is not what it seems. If the past and future coexist. If the end may already be written, then perhaps the sky you see above you is not present at all. Perhaps it is memory. Perhaps it is afterimage. When you look at stars, you are looking back in time. The light of the nearest star beyond the sun took more than 4 years to reach you. The light of others took centuries. The glow of distant galaxies took billions of years. The farther you look, the older the story. The night sky is not a window into now. It is a window into then. Pause and imagine this. A firework bursts in the sky. The sparkles scatter, and for moments afterward, you still see them glitter, even though they are fading. The stars are like this. Many have already burned out. Some may not even exist anymore, but their light is still arriving. A firework echo crossing eternity. You do not see the universe as it is. You see it as it was. This is what some scientists mean when they say the universe may already have ended. If every light in the sky is ancient, if every star is already a ghost, then the cosmos you see now is already gone. You are witnessing its afterglow, just as you see the shape of a flame, even after your eyes are closed. Pause again. Imagine staring at the sun for an instant and then looking away. You see its imprint, a pale circle hovering in your vision. It is no longer there, but it lingers in you. The universe may be the same, a circle of light, hovering long after its source is gone. You live inside the lingering. You are carried in the afterimage. Science explains this gently. Light does not move instantly. It travels at a fixed speed. For nearby things, this delay is small. For distant things, it is immense. When you look up, you are looking into history. Every star is an old memory. Every galaxy is a fossil of light. So the sky is a museum, not of what is, but of what was. Pause once more. Imagine a gallery of paintings. Each one shows a different time, a different scene. As you walk, you pass from one to another, not realizing how old they are. The night sky is such a gallery. Each star is a painting, a frozen frame from a story long ended. And you walk among them nightly, believing them present. There is wonder in this, because it means you are always in dialogue with the past. The stars you wish upon are ancient. The light you see tonight may have started its journey before human beings even existed. Your eyes are touched by light older than language, older than memory, older than your species. You are bathed in history every night. You sleep beneath ghosts, but ghosts can be comforting because they are not absence. They are presence extended. They are proof that something was real and that its memory still shines. When you look at the stars, you are proof that the universe lived. Even if it ended, its light continues, and you are warmed by it. Pause again. Imagine sitting beside a fire that has gone out. The logs are dark, the flames are gone, but the air is still warm. You feel heat against your skin. You know the fire is finished, but you are still held by its memory. That is what the universe may be, a fire long extinguished, but still warming you with its glow. Some scientists whisper this possibility. The cosmos may have already slipped into stillness. Stars may have faded. Energy may have thinned. But you see the afterimage still. You dream inside its light. And perhaps that is enough. Pause once more. Imagine walking past a window at night. You see the reflection of a candle inside. But when you turn, the candle has already burned out. The reflection lives a little longer than the flame itself. The universe may be that reflection. The stars may be that last glow. You live in the echo. You dream inside the reflection. This does not lessen life. It enriches it, because it means your every breath is connected to a past more vast than you can imagine. The air you inhaled tonight was warmed by a sun that may not exist anymore. The photons brushing your skin may be the last whispers of stars long gone, and yet they are real. They are here. They are enough. Science calls this persistence. The universe does not end all at once. Its light carries on. Its echoes stretch across time. Its memory is slow to fade. And so, even if the cosmos has already ended, you would never know it, 'cause you are still walking through its light. Okay? You are still touched by its afterimage. Pause again. Imagine watching a film on a projector. The final frame has already been printed. The reel is complete. But as the machine plays, you experience it as story. You feel suspense, you feel beginnings and endings, but they were already there, waiting in the reel. The universe may be that reel. You may be living through its playback. The end already exists, but you still have pages to watch. This prepares us for the next reflection. The universe may already be ended. What kind of end was it? Was it fiery? Was it silent? Perhaps it was neither. Perhaps it was the heat-death horizon, a long fading, a thinning of energy, a cooling into silence. Asterisk, the stars above you shine like echoes. Each one is a memory, a ghost of ancient fire. But what if the universe itself, the whole stage upon which stars once burned, has already slipped beyond its ending, to collapse, not into fire, but into silence? This is the vision of heat death, a universe stretched thin, its energy evenly spread, its warmth fading into nothingness. Pause and imagine this. You sit beside a fire on a winter night. The flames dance brightly at first. They leap, they crackle, they fill the air with warmth. But as hours pass, the logs burn down. The sparks grow fewer. The fire sinks into embers, and finally into ash dot. The room is dark again. The warmth is gone. Silence fills the space where fire once lived. Some scientists suggest this may be the fate of the universe itself. The cosmos began in a blaze of light, the Big Bang, a fire beyond imagining. Galaxies formed, stars ignited, planets spun into being. Life rose from stardust, dreaming beneath the glow. But fire does not last forever. Stars burn their fuel. Galaxies thin, even black holes fade in unimaginable time, and eventually spreads too thin to burn again. This is heat death, a horizon of silence at the edge of existence. Pause again. Imagine an orchestra playing. First, it is loud, vibrant, every instrument alive. But as the piece ends, each instrument falls silent. One by one, the sound thins. The hall echoes with the last notes. And then nothing. The universe may be such a symphony, and we may be living in its final echoes. Science explains this with entropy. Entropy is the tendency of energy to spread out, to even itself across space. A hot cup of tea cools in a cold room. A flame burns until its fuel is gone. Energy does not vanish, but it disperses. The universe itself is like that tea, that flame. It's been dispersing since the moment of creation. Eventually, it may reach a point where all energy is to spread out, to do anything at all. No stars, no fire, no change, only silence. Pause once more. Imagine a candle burning low. Its last flicker lights the dark. Then it fades. But long after, you still remember its glow, that your eyes still carried the afterimage. Perhaps the universe is already in that state, the candle gone, but its glow lingering still, and you are living inside the memory of its flame. This idea is not meant to frighten. It is meant to humble, because it shows how precious every spark is. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the glow of the moon on water, the breath in your chest tonight, all are rare. All are fleeting. All are flames in a universe moving slowly toward silence. Pause again. Imagine lying under the stars. Above you are galaxies beyond counting. But science reminds you, most of those stars will fade. Most already have. Guachu. See now is a sky midway through its song. A universe still playing, but already written to its final page. And yet, you are here. You are part of its music still. Asterisk heat death does not come with drama. It is not fire. It is not collapse. It is the quiet settling of everything. The thinning of energy until nothing new can happen. A universe at rest, to spread, to ignite again. And perhaps this has already occurred. Perhaps you are living in its echo, a memory of warmth, a final afterglow, still unfolding frame by frame. Pause once more. Okay. Imagine snow falling on a field. At first, it swirls, flakes dancing in air. Then it settles, covering everything in silence. The motion ends, but the stillness is beautiful. Perhaps the universe is like that. Not tragedy, but quiet. Not violence, but rest. And within that rest, light lingers long enough for you to dream. Science points to the cosmic microwave background, slight afterglow of the Big Bang. It is the sky's oldest light, a fossil of creation itself. Some scientists wonder if what we call background is also foreshadowing a memory of an ending already reached. The horizon of silence may already lie behind us. We may be living inside its echo. Pause again. Imagine closing a book. The story is done. No, but the words stay in your mind. The characters walk with you still. The universe may be that book. Its story finished, yet its memory carried on light. And you are one of its remembered characters, still moving inside its dream. There is comfort here too, because it means endings are not abrupt. They fade, they linger, they leave traces, and you are one of those traces. Even if the universe has already ended, you are still alive in its warmth, still breathing inside its glow. Pause once more. Imagine tonight you dream of silence. Not emptiness, but fullness, a quiet that feels like completion. That may be the truth of the cosmos, not destruction, but rest. And the fact that you're here, still dreaming inside it, means the echo has carried far enough for you to live. This leads gently into the next reflection. For if the universe has already slipped into silence, then perhaps the clues are still around you in the faint background hum of the sky, in the microwave glow left behind, in the traces scientists call fossils of creation. Asterisk, the vision of heat. Death lingers, a universe stretched thin, its warmth dispersed, its story fading into silence. But silence is never absolute. Even now, the sky hums with faint echoes. Scientists call it the cosmic microwave background, a soft, uniform glow of radiation that fills the universe. It is not loud, it is not bright, but it is everywhere. It seeps into every direction you look, an invisible afterglow. It is the oldest light we know. And some whisper, perhaps it is also the last. Pause and imagine tuning an old radio. You twist. The dial static fills the air, a hiss of countless tiny signals. Part of that static is this cosmic echo, the faint memory of the universe itself. Each crackle is a whisper of creation, still arriving across space. You hear not just noise. You hear history. You hear memory. The cosmic microwave background, or CMB, was discovered in 1965 by accident. Two scientists, Penzias and Wilson, were trying to remove a strange hiss from their radio antenna. No matter what they did, the hiss remained. Finally, they realized it was not interference. It was the sky itself, singing softly. The hum they found was the afterglow of the Big Bang. Radiation, stretched by time, faded to microwaves, but still alive, and it has never gone silent. Pause again. Imagine a bell struck long ago. The note fades with time, but it never fully disappears. It lingers, a vibration too faint for most to hear. The CMB is that bell. The universe struck it in its first moment of being. tidge, and the sound still rings. You live inside its resonance. Science studies this background carefully. It is almost perfectly uniform, the same in every direction, but in its tiny variations, small ripples of temperature, small differences in intensity. Scientists see the seeds of galaxies, the fingerprints of structure, the blueprint of everything. The CMB is both lullaby and map. It teased the universe's baby picture, but also its fossil. It is creation preserved in radiation. Pause once more. Imagine fireflies glowing across a dark field. From a distance, their lights blur into one soft glow. Look closer, and you see their patterns, their dances, their individual flickers. The CMB is like this. At first, only static. But within it, the story of galaxies and stars waiting to be read, and perhaps it also hides the story of endings. For some scientists, the CMB is not only a memory of the beginning, it may also carry traces of something after. Ripples in its fabric may whisper of other universes, collisions, or even cycles of creation and destruction. It may be a fossil, but it may also be a prophecy. You look at the sky, and though it seems silent, it is layered with echoes. Pause again. Imagine speaking in a canyon. Your voice bounces back to you, not once, but many times. Each echo carries your words, but altered, softened, stretched. The universe may be that canyon. The CMB may be its endless echo, the voice of creation, still, bouncing through eternity, and you live inside its chamber. There is humility in this truth, because it means even in silence, the universe remembers itself. The stars may fade, the galaxies may collapse, but the CMB continues, a whisper that outlasts fire. Perhaps this is what remains after heat death. It's not light to see by, not warmth to feel, but a background hum, so faint, so thin, yet endless. Pause once more. Imagine yourself asleep in a room. You think it is quiet, but if you pressed your ear to the wall, you would hear faint vibrations, pipes humming, air moving, life in the background. The CMB is such a hum. You do not feel it, but it is there, touching everything. You dream within its sound each night. Science shows us this hum fills the cosmos. It comes from every direction equally. It is the closest thing we have to the voice of the universe. Not a voice of words, but of radiation, stretched thin by time, but never erased. You live not in silence, but in echo. The universe itself is an afterimage. You walk inside. Pause again. Okay. Imagine the glow of a firefly staying in your vision after the insect is gone. The light is no longer present, but your eyes still hold it. The CMB is that glow. The universe itself has long since moved on, but its image lingers in the sky, and you are part of that. Lingering, this thought prepares you gently for another reflection. If the background hum is both memory and prophecy, then perhaps endings and beginnings are not separate. Perhaps they fold into one another, each universe birthing the next, each death giving rise to creation again. The cosmic background hums quietly. It tells you of a beginning, the Big Bang, the fire from which all else came. But in its faint, persistent glow is also a question. What if beginnings and endings are not truly apart? What if they are the same? Pause and imagine this. A forest burns in summer's heat. Flames consume trees. Leaves fall as ash. The ground is blackened. It feels like the end. But when rains return, new shoots rise from the soil. The ash becomes nourishment. The end becomes the seed of the next beginning. The universe may be the same. Its death may not be silence. It may be soil. It may be seed. It may be the ground from which the next cosmos grows. Science whispers of this possibility. Some theories suggest that universes may cycle, each one born in fire, expanding, cooling, and then folding into itself again, giving rise to another. The end is not a wall. Okay. It is a doorway. Pause again. Imagine a book in your hands. Okay. You reach the final page. It feels like conclusion, but then you close the cover and immediately open another book. The ending was only a bridge to another beginning. Universes may behave like this, not one isolated story, but a library of cycles, each beginning contained within the ashes of Stitch, Ekai's, my Sidge. The ending to make one, in the Sidge. The ending was only a budge. The ending was only a bidge to a Sidge, millimage, Mikish, molest, my index, one, my millicent, my enlist, my s, eat, it, my Sidge, we x, as, e, as, we is sit, I as, x, as, we is one, as, at, I, as, a, I, as, a, I can, the last. Some scientists call this the cyclic model. Others speak of conformal cyclic cosmology, in which one universe's stretched silence becomes the seed of the next. Even black holes evaporating may leave behind the seeds of rebirth. Endings and beginnings may be inseparable. Like inhale and exhale, like tide and return, they follow one another endlessly. Pause once more. Imagine the tide pulling back from the shore. For a moment, the sand is bare, the water gone. Feels like absence, but soon the tide rushes in again, filling the beach with foam. The retreat was only part of the rhythm. The sea was never finished. So too with the cosmos. The end may only be withdrawal, the breath before return. There is humility in this truth, because it reminds you that nothing is wasted. Every star that dies, every galaxy that fades, every silence that follows may be part of something larger. The ash becomes soil. The silence becomes seed. The death becomes birth. You are part of this rhythm. Your very atoms prove it. Pause again. Imagine your body tonight. It is made of carbon, born in ancient stars. Hydrogen, older than galaxies, flows in your veins. The oxygen you breathe was forged in stellar fire. You are proof that endings become beginnings. You are proof that the universe has always folded life from the ashes of itself. Why would it stop now? Science observes this at every scale. Stars collapse, and their remnants ignite new stars. Supernovas scatter elements that become planets. Planets breed life, guys. But its remains become nourishment for more life. The rhythm is always there. Why should the cosmos itself be different? Pause once more. Imagine a field in winter. Snow covers everything. It seems lifeless, silent, but beneath the soil, seeds wait. The silence is not the end. It is preparation. It is pause. It is transition. The universe's death may be winter. Its rebirth may already be waiting beneath the frost. Some scientists imagine even grander cycles. Perhaps our universe itself is the child of another's collapse. Perhaps the Big Bang was not the first flame, but the rebound of a prior silence. If so, then we are echoes of echoes, living in an infinite chain of creation. Your life, your breath, your dreams tonight are woven into a story without end. Pause again. Imagine a circle drawn in sand. You follow it with your finger. You cannot tell where it starts, cannot tell where it ends. Every point leads to another. The universe may be such a circle, birth leading into death, death leading into birth, without edge, without finish. You live inside that circle now. There is comfort in this thought, because it means that even endings carry hope. Even silence carries possibility. Even the end of the universe would not be emptiness, but transition. And if you are living in its echo now, then you are proof that the cycle continues. Pause once more. Imagine tonight you dream of a door. You walk through it, believing it is the exit. But on the other side is another beginning. The universe may be such a dream, every ending a doorway, every silence an opening. You may already be walking through it now. This leads naturally to the next reflection. For if endings fold into beginnings, then perhaps what we call creation is not unique. Perhaps universes rise and fade over and over, like tides, like seasons. Perhaps the cosmos itself is caught in endless cycles of creation. Asterisk. The thought lingers. Perhaps endings are not final. Perhaps they fold into beginnings, like pages turning, like tides retreating and returning. And if this is true, then the universe itself may not be a single story. It may be a cycle. It may be an endless rhythm, a wheel turning without end. Pause and imagine the seasons. Winter passes into spring. Spring swells into summer. Summer fades into autumn. Autumn folds into winter again. The cycle repeats, not once, but forever. Each season feels like its own story, yet each is bound to the others. The universe may be the same. Birth, expansion, silence, collapse. Not one line, but one circle. Science offers glimpses of this possibility. Theory suggests the cosmos may oscillate, expanding outward, then contracting inward, ending in collapse, only to begin again. Some call this the Big Bounce. Others imagine conformal cycles, universes rising from the stretched remains of prior ones. Each version whispers the same truth. This has happened before. It may happen again. Pause again. Imagine a wave on the ocean. It rises, it curls, it falls. For a moment it is gone, but soon another rises in its place. The sea is endless. The waves are cycles. The universe may be that sea, and what you live within now is only one wave among countless. There is humility in this thought, because it means your life is not at the center of a singular story. It is a moment in an eternal rhythm. Your body is made of atoms, forged in stars that may themselves have been born from the ashes of prior universes. You are a child of cycles, dreaming within cycles, carried by cycles. Pause once more. Imagine a forest filled with cicadas. They live, they sing, and then they vanish underground. For years, they wait, silent. And then, in season, they return again, their song filling the air once more. The universe may be like this, disappearing into silence, only to rise again, singing its galaxies anew. Science points to patterns woven into nature itself. Atoms repeat structures. Galaxies form spirals. Planets orbit in cycles. Tides rise and fall. Life breathes in and out. Everywhere you look, existence is circular. Why would the cosmos itself be different? Pause again. Imagine a wheel turning slowly. You watch one spoke rise, then vanish below. You might think it is gone forever. But as the wheel turns, it comes back. It was never lost, it was only hidden. The universe may be such a wheel. Its death is not disappearance, but rotation. This brings comfort, because it means nothing is wasted. Every collapse, every fading, every silence may be part of preparation for another beginning. Perhaps you are not at the end of all things. Perhaps you are mid-cycle, a moment in an eternal return. Pause once more. Imagine tonight you dream of climbing a staircase. It feels endless, step after step, and then you realize the staircase curves. It is a spiral. Each step takes you higher, yet always in circles. Cosmos may be such a spiral, repeating itself, yet never quite the same. Some philosophers wonder if this has all happened before. Not just galaxies, but lives. Not just stars, but dreams. If the universe repeats, then perhaps so to do the moments within it. Perhaps your breath tonight is part of an eternal rhythm, taken infinite times before, to be taken infinite times. Again, it is not frightening. It is soothing, because it means your story is never lost. Science cannot yet answer. The evidence is faint, hidden in the ripples of the cosmic background, in the distribution of galaxies, in the mathematics of expansion. But even without certainty, the thought is powerful, because it reminds you that endings are not necessary. Cycles are enough. Pause. Again. Imagine a pendulum swinging. It slows. It stops. But then, a push, and it swings again. This motion could continue forever, not because it resists rest, but because each rest becomes another motion. It's because the cosmos may swing like this, each silence becoming another note. There is beauty in repetition. It's in waves breaking, in seasons turning, in heartbeats pulsing. The universe, too, may be breathing. Its breath longer than your lifetime, but no less real. You live inside its inhale, okay? Others may live inside its exhale. The breath continues forever. Pause once more. Imagine snow falling, melting, becoming water, flowing into rivers, evaporating, returning as snow again. At no point does the cycle end. It only changes form. The universe may be the same. Snow, water, vapor, birth, death, rebirth, and you are part of that rhythm. This prepares you gently for another thought. For if cycles repeat, then silence itself may not be an enemy. It may be a pause, a collapse into quiet, a rest before the next beginning. Asterisk, the thought of cycles lingers. The universe rises, the universe falls, perhaps endlessly. Galaxies bloom, like spring flowers, then fade, like autumn leaves. But what of the moment in between? What of the pause, the stillness, the silence, after collapse, and before return? This is the quiet vision of a universe closing into itself. Pause and imagine this. A theater performance ends. Okay. The final line is spoken, the last note played. In the lie with the lies, age, I keen, the lies. Today, I get the lies. It's, well, it's elegant, no, double, no case. It's no, it's one intent. One, I know, said, we, I, will, my, well, as, ed, as, guy, and gaga, where Curtain falls. The audience applauds, then slowly departs. Soon the hall is empty. The lights are dim. The stage is silent. The play is not destroyed. It is complete. And now the stage rests. The universe may be like this, a collapse, not of violence, but of rest. Science calls one such vision the Big Crunch. If gravity proves stronger than expansion, the cosmos may not stretch forever. It may slow, pause, and then contract. Galaxies would drift closer, stars would burn faster, and eventually everything would collapse into heat and density again. Not an explosion outward, but a folding inward. Not chaos, but gathering. Pause again. Imagine an inhale. Its lungs fill with air. The chest expands. This is expansion. But eventually, the lungs exhale. The air leaves. The chest contracts. The cycle is not destruction. It is breathing. The universe may be breathing too. exhale will be silence, not annihilation. For some, this collapse is frightening, a return to fire, a crushing of galaxies. But for others, it is peaceful, because it means the cosmos is not shredded into emptiness. It is gathered, drawn inward, folded close, like a book gently closed, like a circle finished, ready to begin again. Pause once more. Imagine the ocean tide. It rushes forward, covering the sand. Then it retreats, pulling back into itself. By the beach rests in silence, waiting for return. The tide is not gone. It is only gathering strength. The universe may be such a tide. Collapse may not be loss. It may be return. Science suggests this would take billions of years. Galaxies would slow. Expansion would reverse. Distances would shrink. The night sky would grow brighter as galaxies moved closer together. Then stars would burn faster, their fuel consumed quickly, their fires short-lived. At last, everything would fall inward, compressed into heat, a single dense point of silence. It sounds violent, but in cosmic time, it would feel slow. A long surrender, a folding into stillness. Pause again. Imagine holding a ball of yarn. You pull, it unravels. The thread stretches outward, but then you wind it back. The thread coils in, tight, compact. The yarn is not lost, it is gathered. The universe may do the same. There is humility in this, because it means that collapse is not always destruction. Sometimes it is rest. Sometimes it is preparation. Sometimes it is simply the other half of the breath. The end of expansion may only be the beginning of silence. Pause once more. Imagine a candle burning low. It flickers, then finally goes out. The flame is gone, but the wick remains. The wax remains. The memory of light remains. The silence is not empty. It holds what was, and perhaps what will be again. So too with the cosmos. Its collapse into silence would not erase it. It would hold all of it close, gathering itself for what comes next. Some scientists imagine that collapse itself could spark new creation. The dense silence at the end might rebound, a new big bang born from the quiet of a big crunch. The cycle would continue, end folded into beginning, silence folded into song. The pause would not be nothing. It would be everything, compressed, waiting. Pause again. Imagine a seed, quiet, buried in soil. To the eye, it looks like an ending, a stillness, a death. But within it is the pattern of forests, the memory of growth, the promise of return. The universe collapsing may be such a seed. Silent, but not empty. There is comfort here, because it means silence is not absence. It is fullness, disguised. It is potential, just waiting. If the universe collapses into stillness, you are not erased. You are folded into memory, into pattern, into possibility. Pause once more. Imagine tonight you dream of falling asleep inside a vast library. Every book is closed, every page unread. The silence is deep. But, the stories remain, waiting for another reader. The cosmos may be this library. Collapse may be its silence. But the stories are still there, waiting to be opened again. And here lies the gentle transition. For if silence holds memory, if collapse holds possibility, then perhaps mathematics itself already describes what lies beyond. Equations trace not just the past, but futures hidden in their numbers. They may point to worlds already ended or yet to begin. The thought of silence lingers. The universe may collapse, fold into stillness, become seed once more. But how do we know such things? What tool could reveal what lies beyond stars, beyond time, beyond endings themselves? The answer is mathematics. Pause and imagine this. You look at a seashell, its spiral, curling inward. It is beautiful, but behind that beauty is a pattern, a ratio repeating, a formula written in nature. Mathematics is not invention, it is discovery. It is the language the universe already speaks, and in that language, some equations whisper that the universe may already be finished. Science leans on numbers because they reveal what eyes cannot. You cannot watch galaxies drift in real time. You cannot see entropy spread across trillions of years, but you can describe it, symbol by symbol, line by line. Equations are telescopes of thought. They look further than light, and when they are followed faithfully, they sometimes lead to unsettling conclusions. Pause again. Imagine drawing a circle. You do not need to see the whole thing to know where it ends. From one arc, you can predict the rest. Mathematics works like this. From fragments of reality, it predicts what comes next, and what it predicts for the cosmos is both beautiful and haunting. Einstein's equations show that space and time are not fixed. They bend, they curve, they ripple. Follow them far enough, and they reveal beginnings, a big bang, and possibly endings, a heat death, crunch, a silence. Equations describe universes that have already ended, even if you still dream inside their echoes. Pause once more. Imagine music written on a score. Even before it is played, the notes are already there. The symphony exists in potential. So too with mathematics. It writes the score of the universe. Whether the music is played or not, the structure already exists. Some scientists believe the universe itself is this mathematical structure, that you do not live in matter, but in equation. This is called the mathematical universe hypothesis. It suggests that reality is not built from particles, but from numbers. If so, then every solution to every equation is as real as the world you see now. Universes are not created. They are solved, and some of those solutions are already finished. Pause again. Imagine opening a notebook filled with equations. Each page describes a different world. Some are vast, expanding forever. Some collapse quickly. Some loop endlessly. Every equation is a possibility, waiting to be lived. Perhaps your universe is only one such page, a solution already written, and perhaps is already complete. Mathematics does not fear endings. It describes them without hesitation. Entropy equations show that energy will spread thin. Relativity equations show that space may contract. Quantum equations show that particles may flicker out of existence. In the numbers, nothing is eternal. Everything flows toward completion, and yet, in those same numbers, completion is not nothing. It is simply another state. Pause once more. Imagine a parabola drawn on paper. The curve rises, then falls. You can see its peak. You can see its descent. From the first lines alone, you can predict the end. So too with equations of the cosmos. From what we observe now, mathematics sketches the shape of its story. And the story may already be done, but mathematics also points beyond. For in its symbols are not just endings, but continuations. Equations allow for rebirths, for cycles, for multiverses. They whisper of realities where endings are beginnings, where silence is not absence, but prelude. The numbers point farther than you can see. Pause again. Imagine standing at the edge of a labyrinth. You cannot walk its entire path, but with a map, you can see the whole design. Mathematics is that map. It does not walk time. It sees time whole, and in its lines, the labyrinth of the universe is already complete. Your journey may feel uncertain, but in mathematics, every turn is already traced. There is comfort in this, because it means the universe is not chaos. It is structure. It is pattern. It is music written in ratios and curves. If it has already ended, then its ending is as precise, as elegant as its beginning. and you are part of that elegance. Your very body is mathematics, the spiral of your DNA, the rhythm of your heartbeat, the wave of your breath, your equation embodied. Pause once more. Imagine tonight you dream of symbols. They float around you, shapes of infinity, curves of possibility. You do not need to solve them, okay? You only need to know they carry you, for you are part of their solution, a living note in the equation of the cosmos. This prepares you gently for the next reflection. Because if mathematics describes the end, it also describes the strange places where endings gather. Black holes, the graveyards of stars, and perhaps of universes. If endings exist anywhere, they exist there. Asterisk, the equations whispered of endings. Entropy spreading, expansion halting, collapse beginning. But if there are graveyards in the cosmos, their markers are not crosses or stones. They are black holes, silent, invisible, unforgiving, yet strangely beautiful. Pause and imagine. This, a star burns for millions of years. It shines brightly, warms planets, gathers worlds in orbit. But when its fuel runs out, it collapses. The weight of its own gravity presses inward, and the star folds into itself. Okay. What remains is not a flame. It is a shadow. Black hole. The graveyard of a star. Black holes are not holes at all. They are regions of space where gravity is so strong that nothing escapes. Not light, not time, not memory. Whatever enters is kept forever. A cosmic silence. A final resting place. Some scientists wonder if the universe itself is already buried in such graveyards. Pause again. Imagine a vast library burning. Pages are consumed, but the ashes remain, compressed, hidden, still containing the story in another form. Black holes are like this. They hold what has ended. They compress it, bury it, keep it beyond sight. The universe may already be writing its own chapters in this hidden ink. Mathematics describes them clearly. Einstein's equations predict them. Relativity demands their existence. And telescopes confirm them. We see their shadows in galaxies. We watch stars whirl around them, as if dancing around a silent partner. We hear their ripples in space-time, the waves of gravity they leave behind. Black holes are not theory. They are real, and they are graveyards. Pause once more. Imagine a clock placed near one, its hand slow, its ticking stretches. Time itself bends as it falls inward. What is buried in a black hole is not just matter. It is time. It is memory. The cosmos may already be folded inside these shadows, compressed into a silence you cannot yet comprehend. Scientists wonder what happens inside. Is it nothingness? Is it a point of infinite density? What they call a singularity? Or is it another doorway, a bridge to another universe? Perhaps black holes are not just graves. Perhaps they are wombs. Perhaps what dies here is reborn elsewhere. Pause again. Imagine the seed buried in soil. It looks dead, is dark, silent, buried. But from that burial comes life. The blackness is not an ending. It is preparation. Black holes may be such seeds, silent, compressed, but fertile with possibility. Science explores this gently. Hawking radiation suggests that even black holes fade. They evaporate slowly over unimaginable spans of time. What they hold may be released again, information scattered like ashes in wind. Even graveyards are not forever. Even endings move on. Pause once more. Imagine standing in an old graveyard at dusk. The stones are weathered. The names are fading. But the soil beneath is not silent. It is full of roots, life fed by what has passed. The universe may be the same. Its black holes may be tombs, but they may also be gardens. What is buried there may still rise again. There is humility in this thought, because it shows that nothing is truly lost. Not stars, not light, not time. It is all kept, folded into the silence, waiting in the graveyards of the cosmos. And if the universe has already ended, perhaps what remains of it is already buried here. Perhaps black holes are its headstones. Pause again. Imagine tonight you dream of falling. At first, the fall is fast, then it slows, then time itself stretches, becoming endless. You never hit the ground. You simply fall forever. This is what it means to approach a black hole. From outside, you seem frozen at the edge. From inside, you cross into silence. It is not destruction. It is transformation. Some theories suggest that what enters a black hole may emerge in another universe, that the end of one cosmos may seed the next, that graveyards may also be doorways. If so, then you are already part of something endless. Every ending is folded into beginning, every silence into song. The universe may be buried, but it may also be reborn. Pause once more. Imagine a hallway of doors. You open one, step inside, and close it behind you. From the outside, it looks as though you are gone. But from the inside, you are simply in another room. Black holes may be such doors. From here, they look like endings. From there, they may be beginnings. There is comfort in this, because it means that even in graveyards, there may be continuity. Even in silence, there may be hidden music. Even in endings, there may be paths beyond. And so, black holes become not only tombs, but symbols of mystery, of memory, of continuity, hidden in darkness. Pause again. Imagine lying in bed tonight, thinking of these silent giants. They feel far, abstract, removed from your life. But in truth, you are part of them. The atoms in your body may one day drift into a star. That star may collapse. That collapse may form a black hole. And within it, you may be carried again into the silence of the cosmos. Even you are part of the graveyard, part of the cycle, part of the continuation. This prepares us gently for the next reflection. For if black holes hold everything, matter, light, time, memory, then what does it mean for you who still perceives the universe unfolding? If all has already ended, then perhaps your perception itself is still playing frame by frame. It's an unfinished experience of a finished story. Asterisk, the graveyards of the cosmos linger in thought. Black holes hold what is buried, light, matter, time itself. But here you are, still breathing, still perceiving. And so, another question arises. What if the universe has already ended, and only your perception is still unfolding? Cause and imagine. This, you watch a film. The reel has long since finished spinning. Story is already whole. Its beginning and ending fixed on the strip. But as the projector shines light through it, the images move across the screen. For you, the story still unfolds, even though in truth, it was finished before you sat down. Your perception may be the projector. Your mind may be watching the frames of reality one by one, while the entire universe already lies complete. Science leans toward this possibility through relativity. In Einstein's block universe, past, present, and future all exist together. There is no flow. There is no real now. There is only the illusion of moving through frames one at a time. Your brain gives you this illusion. It cannot grasp the whole strip at once. It only plays the film, slowly, patiently, so that you can live inside it. Pause again. Imagine a book on your shelf. It is complete, every word, every chapter. But when you read it, you experience time. You feel beginnings and endings. You feel suspense, though the ending was already printed. The universe may be such a book. In your mind is the reader. The ending exists, but you are still on the middle page. This illusion of sequence is not weakness, it is necessity. Your mind could not bear the whole story at once. It must unfold, must move frame by frame. That is how consciousness survives. And so even if the universe is already ended, you continue to live it patiently, tenderly, moment by moment. Pause once more. Imagine walking through a garden. The entire landscape exists at once. Every tree, every stone, every flower. But your eyes see only what is before you. Your path gives you sequence. Your walking gives you time. The universe is the garden. Your awareness is the path. The end of the garden exists, but you have not walked there yet. This view brings comfort, because it means endings do not erase experience. They simply exist beyond your awareness. You are safe in the unfolding, even if the whole has already closed. The film plays on. The book remains open. Your perception is unfinished, even if the universe is not. Science studies perception closely. Neuroscience shows that your brain does not experience reality in real time. Signals take fractions of seconds to process. Okay? What you perceive as now is already past. Your awareness lags behind the world. You are always living slightly delayed, watching echoes of what already happened. If this is true on small scales, why not on cosmic scales? Perhaps your awareness lags behind reality itself. Perhaps you are still playing through frames that ended long ago. Pause again. Imagine hearing a bell in the distance. The sound arrives seconds late. The strike is finished, but you hear it as though it is still happening. Your awareness of the universe may be like this, a faint delay, an echo carried across time. For you, it is still alive, but in truth, it may already be over. This does not mean life is false. Teens, life is sheltered. Your brain protects you by feeding perception, frame by frame, like feeding light through a projector. You cannot live in endings. You can only live in unfolding. And so you continue, even if the cosmos has finished its song. Pause once more. Imagine. Tonight, you dream of walking through a corridor. Doors line its walls. Each one already exists. Each one already opens to a room, but you only see them as you pass. You only open them in order. For you, the corridor is a journey. Dan, but from above. The whole hall already exists. Your perception is the walk. The universe is the corridor. This way of seeing things also explains the beauty of memory. Your mind stores frames of the past. You replay them like rewinding a film, but they never vanish. They are part of the strip, Attica. Even if the film has ended, the frames are still there. Your memory is proof that completion is not erasure. Pause again. Imagine a snow globe. Inside, the whole scene exists already. Houses, trees, figures. But you shake it, and the snow begins to fall. Now the scene unfolds, moment by moment. The story feels alive, though it was complete all along. Perception is the shaking. Reality is the globe. There is comfort here, because it means you are never outside the story. Even if it is ended, you are still within it. You are carried through each frame as if it were new. Your life is not diminished. It is dignified, given time to be lived, even inside a finished whole. Pause once more. Imagine listening to a song on a record. The grooves of the record hold every note already, but the needle traces them one by one. You hear the music in sequence. You feel it as flow, okay? But the song itself is already complete, waiting in the grooves. Your life may be that song. Your perception may be the needle, okay? And the universe may be the record, already pressed, already. Hold this prepares us gently for another reflection. If perception can unfold a finished universe, then perhaps the universe itself is only projection. Perhaps what you live is not the fabric itself, but the holographic display of something deeper, a shadow of a cosmos that has already ended, yet continues to shine. Asterisk's perception unfolds like a film, frame by frame, even if the reel is already finished. But what if the film itself is not reality at all? Right? What if it is only projection? Some scientists and philosophers speak of a holographic universe, a cosmos that is not the thing itself, but the shadow of something deeper. In this view, what you see and touch may be no more than the flickering surface of hidden truth. And if that is so, then perhaps what you call life is already the afterlife, projection from a universe long ended. Pause and imagine this, a hologram, glowing in the dark. From one angle, it looks like a three-dimensional object. You can see its shape, its depth, its movement. But step closer, and you realize there is no object, only light, only projection. Your world may be the same, solid in experience, but woven of information flickering on a screen you cannot see. Science hints at this possibility. In the 1990s, physicists studying black holes faced a paradox. If black holes swallow everything, doesn't information vanish? But quantum mechanics insists that information cannot be destroyed. The solution some proposed was that the universe itself works like a hologram, where all the information is encoded, not inside, but on the surface. If this is true, then reality is not volume, it is surface, it is projection. Pause again. Imagine a snowflake under a microscope. Its intricate branches amaze you. It looks like a vast, three-dimensional forest. But when you step back, you realize it is only a thin crystal, a surface holding depth within its design. The cosmos may be the same, a thin film, a surface encoding a world that feels deep. You live within the illusion of depth, but the truth may already be flat. In this way, the holographic principle changes endings too, because if reality is projection, then the universe itself may already be finished at the level that matters. You are watching the light of something past. You are living inside its holographic afterlife. Pause once more. Imagine sunlight passing through stained glass. The window is already fixed, its colors unmoving, but on the floor, patterns of light shift, dance, change with time. The light looks alive, but it is only the projection of something finished. Your life may be that shifting color. The stained glass may be the cosmos already ended. The reflection of its memory. This view brings both mystery and comfort, because it suggests that endings are not erasure. They are transformation. When a universe closes, its information may not vanish. It may be preserved, projected, displayed in another form, like a hologram glowing after its source is gone. You are living inside that glow. Pause again. Imagine holding a holographic card. Tilt it one way and you see a bird. Tilt it another and you see a tree. The images shift, but the card never changes. The information is fixed, encoded in tiny grooves. The universe may be such a card. Your life is one tilt, one angle of its light. But the information was always there, whether the source has ended or not. Science explores this gently. Equations of string theory support the holographic principle. They show that a universe with gravity may be equivalent to a flat universe without it. The deep can be written on the shallow. The volume can be encoded on the surface. Reality may be less than it appears or more. And if so, then perhaps the afterlife of the universe is what you are already experiencing. A projection from something ended. Pause once more. Imagine sitting in a theater. A film plays on the screen. Characters walk and speak. Worlds rise and collapse. But behind you, the reel is fixed. The film is already complete. What you see is only projection. The theater feels alive. But it is the afterlife of the real. you may already be in such a theater. The cosmos is the screen. Your perception is the projector's light. The source may already be finished, but the story continues. There is humility in this thought, because it means solidity itself may be illusion. The ground beneath you, the walls of your house, the stars above your head, all projections, all information. It's all holographic glow. But there is comfort too, because if this is the afterlife of a universe, then nothing is lost. Everything is preserved, encoded, still here in projection. Even endings shine on. Pause again. Imagine tonight you dream of light falling through a prism. Colors scatter, rainbows dancing across the wall. But the prism itself does not change. It only bends the light. The universe may be such a prism, your reality, its scattered rainbow. And perhaps that rainbow continues long after the light source has gone. Some scientists wonder if the holographic principle means even consciousness itself is projection. That your sense of self, your memories, your awareness tonight are encoded patterns, flickering like light. This is not despair. It is continuity. For if the projection exists, you exist. Even beyond endings. Pause once more. Imagine standing before a mirror. Your reflection looks back. It feels alive. It moves when you move. But it is not you. It is a projection of you. The cosmos may be that mirror. What you call universe may be the reflection. The true source may already be gone. And yet, you continue. This prepares us gently for another reflection. If reality is projection, if it is flicker and pattern, then perhaps its instability shows itself in quantum hints, particles appearing and disappearing, realities shifting, universes foreshadowing their own collapse. Asterisk, the holographic vision. Lingers. Your world may be projection, a shimmering display from something already ended. But within that projection, another mystery stirs, the flickering of quantum particles. The smallest lights of reality, whispering of instability, hinting of collapse. Quantum physics is the study of the very small, electrons, photons, particles invisible to the eye. Yet, within their behavior, you find foreshadowing, gentle signals that the universe itself may not be as solid as it seems. Pause and imagine this. A candle flame in the dark. It flickers, not steady. Its shape never fixed. Sometimes it leans. Sometimes it sways, always changing. Quantum reality is like this. Particles flicker, appearing and disappearing, shifting states without warning. And in their flicker is the suggestion that all of reality is fragile flame. Quantum mechanics teaches that particles do not exist in one state until observed. They live in possibility. They exist in superposition, many states at once, collapsed into one only when measured. This means your world, the table beneath your hand, tease, the bed beneath your body, is not as fixed as it feels. It is probability solidified. It is choice made from chance. It is illusion of stability drawn from uncertainty. Pause again. Imagine a coin tossed high in the air. While it spins, it is not heads or tails. It is both. Only when it lands, only when you look, does it decide. Particles live in that spin. The universe itself may be caught in such a toss, deciding frame by frame. And if so, then perhaps it has already landed, already ended, while you still watch the spin. This fragility is foreshadowing, because it suggests reality is not permanent. It is always collapsing, always reforming, always shimmering between possibilities. The universe may already have collapsed, a coin landed, a flame extinguished. Yet your perception lingers in its echo, still watching probabilities unfold as though alive. Pause once more. Imagine walking in fog. The world around you is blurred, undefined. Only where your lantern shines do shapes appear? Quantum physics says reality is like this. It exists in fog, in uncertainty. Observation is the lantern, collapsing the mist into form. But when the lantern is gone, the fog remains. Perhaps the universe itself has already dissolved into mist. But you, still holding your lantern, see its shapes as if they remain. Scientists study these whispers. Particles appear and vanish in vacuum. Virtual particles bubble into being, then fade. Electrons tunnel through barriers as though walls do not exist. Atoms entangle, so that touching one touches another across impossible distances. These phenomena hint that reality itself is not fixed fabric, but fragile web woven from chance and probability, a web that may already be unraveled. Pause again. Imagine a spider's web at dawn. Dew glistens on its strands. Tease, but the web is delicate. A breeze could tear it. A bird could sweep it away. Still, in the moment you see it, it shines as though eternal. The universe may be such a web, its threads fragile, its shimmer fleeting, already broken perhaps, but still gleaming in your sight. Quantum foreshadowing also appears in the notion of vacuum decay. Physicists suggest that the vacuum of space may not be perfectly stable. It may be a false vacuum, a delicate state, balanced, but temporary. If it decays, the very laws of physics could change. Reality would shift, collapse, end in silence. Perhaps this has already happened. Perhaps you are living in the lingering echo of a vacuum long decayed. Pause once more. Imagine a glass resting on a table. It wobbles on its base, balanced but unstable. For a moment, it stays upright. But then it tips, falls, shatters. Reality may be that glass, balanced but temporary, okay? And perhaps it is already shattered, quote, while your awareness still watches its upright form in memory. This thought is not despair. It is a reminder. It reminds you that stability is illusion, that every wall, every star, every breath is a miracle of chance, that the universe itself is fragile flame, a coin still spinning, a fog still parting, and that fragility is beautiful. Pause again. Imagine a soap bubble floating. It shimmers with colors, fragile skin reflecting the light. For a while, it drifts in air, but everyone knows it will pop. And when it does, nothing remains but memory. The cosmos may be that bubble, already burst, yet you still see its shimmer, carried by the play of light. Quantum foreshadowing also reveals itself in the collapse of wave functions. Every particle is described by a wave of possibility. When observed, the wave collapses, choosing one outcome. The universe itself may be the collapse of such a wave. Perhaps it has already collapsed into silence, and what you live now is only the echo of the wave's expansion, still shimmering in your perception. Pause once more. Imagine throwing a stone into a pond. Ripples spread outward, concentric circles gliding over water. Even after the stone is gone, the ripples remain. You watch them fade. Quantum waves may be the same. The stone has already fallen. The wave has already ended. But you still see the ripples, still dream inside their motion. Entanglement deepens. The mystery to particles can be linked, no matter how far apart. Touch one, and the other responds instantly. This suggests reality is not local. It is whole. It is connected, and if one part ends, perhaps all ends together. Perhaps the universe has already ended as one entangled whole. But you, then its echo, still perceive separation, still perceive unfolding. Pause again. Imagine two mirrors facing one another. They reflect endlessly, each image tied to the other. Even if the first reflection fades, the others linger in glass, fading slowly, but present still. The cosmos may be those mirrors, Its reflections continue long after the first light has gone. Quantum physics is full of foreshadowing, not prediction, but suggestion, not certainty, but possibility. It does not say the universe has ended. It only whispers, it could, it may have. You may already be living in its memory. To pause once more. Imagine standing at dusk. The sun has set, but the sky still glows. For you, day lingers, but in truth, night has begun. Quantum whispers may be like this. The glow of day still soft in your eyes, even as darkness has already fallen. There is comfort here too, because it means your perception is precious. Tease. It means every moment is fragile flame, worth treasuring, worth savoring. Even if the universe has ended, you are still inside its shimmer, still alive in its glow. Pause again. Imagine tonight you dream of glass shattering. You see each fragment fall in slow motion. You reach to touch them, though the shattering is already complete. Okay? That is what it means to live in a universe already ended. The breaking is past. But your perception lets you see every fragment, patiently, one by one. And so, quantum foreshadowing does not frighten. It soothes. It tells you endings are not sudden. They are layered, they are hidden, they are patient. Okay? They arrive slowly, through whispers, through echoes, through shimmer. The universe may already be ended, but you are still living inside its glow, carried gently by its lingering light. Pause once more. Okay. Imagine you hold a candle in a dark room. You know it will burn out. But for now, the flame warms you. Quantum whispers remind you of this warmth. The flame is fragile, but beautiful. The end is certain, but the glow remains. You are living in that glow tonight. This prepares us gently for the next reflection. For even if the universe is fragile, even if it has ended, there is continuity, there is comfort, for endings are not the same as absence. What you feel now, what you dream now, may already be proof that continuity outlasts collapse. Asterisk, quantum whispers linger in thought. Particles appear and vanish, the vacuum trembles, possibilities collapse into form. Everything feels fragile, like flame flickering in wind. And yet, you are still here, still breathing, still watching the glow of stars. This is the paradox of endings. Even if the universe has already finished, continuity carries you. Life flows forward, moments arrive, dreams unfold. Comfort hides in this persistence, the knowledge that even echoes can be warm. Pause and imagine this. A candle has burned down, its flame gone, but the glass is still warm to the touch. The room is filled with a faint smell of wax. The memory of fire lingers, not in imagination, but in sensation. Okay, you feel what is already past. It is real. It is here. Continuity is this lingering warmth. Science agrees. Even when stars end, their elements remain. Star that collapses becomes the iron in your blood, the carbon in your bones, the oxygen you breathe. The star is gone, but its story continues. In you, nothing is lost. Everything moves forward. This is the comfort of continuity. Endings are transformations, not erasures. Pause again. Imagine autumn leaves falling. Okay. They scatter across the ground, bright gold and deep red. The tree looks bare, its season ended, but beneath the soil, the leaves feed roots. Their fading becomes food, their ending becomes beginning. Porous continues through their change. You, too, are part of such continuity. Even if the universe ended, you are still the leaf, still the soil, still the forest. Continuity is everywhere. The moon pulls the sea, and though tides change each day, their rhythm never fails. The earth spins, and though days fade into nights, The cycle always returns. Even galaxies drift, yet the pattern of their spirals persists. Through all change, there is constancy. And so, even if endings exist, continuity remains the greater truth. Pause once more. Imagine sitting beside a river. The water passes, never the same, never still, but the river continues. What you touch now is not what you touched a moment ago, yet it is still the river. Continuity is not sameness. It is flow. It is presence. That outlives change. Science calls this conservation. Energy is never destroyed. Matter is never erased. They only transform, shift, change, states. The warmth of your body tonight was once starlight. The breath in your lungs was once trapped in stone. The water you drink was once ice, once vapor, once rain. Continuity is this law. Nothing is lost. Everything is carried. Pause again. Imagine. Snow melting in spring. The shape of flakes vanishes. But the water flows into rivers, feeds soil, returns as rain. The snow is gone, but not lost. It is continuity disguised. So too with the universe. Even if it has ended, its story still flows. Disguised as the warmth of now, comfort lies in remembering this. You do not need eternity to be whole. You do not need permanence to be safe. Continuity is enough. You are carried forward. You are never erased. Pause once more. Imagine listening to a melody. A single note fades. It seems gone, but the music continues, woven with the note's memory. Each sound carries the last within it. Each silence holds the trace of what came before. Continuity is this weaving. It ensures no note is ever wasted. So your life, your moment, your universe is part of the same melody. Some scientists believe this. Continuity stretches beyond endings. Even heat death, even cosmic collapse, cannot undo what has been. Information may shift, but it is never lost. Every moment remains encoded in the fabric of reality. Perhaps you're living inside that encoding. Now, a continuation of something already finished. This is not tragedy. It is reassurance, for it means nothing is ever gone. Pause again. Imagine writing in sand. Waves come, washing away the shapes. But beneath, the grains are still there. The writing is gone, but the material remains. Continuity lives in the grains. The universe may be such sand shapes washed away, but substance remaining. Even if endings sweep the shore, continuity holds the grains together. Continuity is also found in memory. Your mind carries the past, even when moments fade. You live in the present, but your body is layered with memory. Every cell remembers. Every scar tells a story. Continuity flows through you like water through stone, carving lines, leaving echoes, and so, even if the universe ended, memory itself ensures you are still carried forward. Pause once more. Imagine a firefly glowing. It blinks, then disappears into dark, but your eyes still hold its glow. Your mind still recalls its spark. Continuity is this echo of light. The universe itself may be such a firefly, spark faded, yet your perception still glows with it. There is deep comfort here, because continuity means you are part of something larger than endings. Your existence does not vanish in silence. It moves forward, transformed, woven into new shapes. The warmth of the sun, the pull of the moon, the breath in your chest tonight, all are proof that continuity endures. Pause again. Imagine tonight, you dream of a great wheel. Turn slowly, each spoke rising, each spoke falling. You ride the wheel, feeling change. But the wheel itself continues. Continuity is the wheel. Change is only the ride. The universe is the same. Its spokes may fall, but its turning remains. Even in endings, continuity comforts. It tells you what you are is not erased. You are carried like melody through silence, like fire through ash, like tide through moonlight. You are the continuation. Pause. Once more. Imagine planting a tree. You may never see it full grown, but it will stand. It will carry forward, branches climbing into sky. Continuity is the tree. You are part of its roots. The universe may already be gone, but its roots remain, and you are one of them. This prepares us gently for the next reflection. For if continuity is real, then perhaps endings themselves are illusions. Perhaps what you call the end is only another face of change, another doorway of continuity. Asterisk continuity is comfort. It tells you that even if the universe ended, its story still carries forward in atoms and echoes in light, still arriving across the night sky. But the deeper thought rises quietly, soft as a tide. Perhaps endings themselves are illusions. Pause and imagine this. You stand at a shoreline. The waves rush forward, then slip away. You tell yourself, the water has ended, but a moment later, another wave appears. The ocean does not end. The waves are only its expression, changing form, changing rhythm. The end of a wave is only the beginning of another. So too, perhaps, with the universe. So too, perhaps, with everything. From your perspective, endings feel sharp. The flame burns out. The day grows dark. The life you knew is gone. But look closely, and you see the transformation. The flame becomes warmth in the air. The day becomes stars in the sky. The life becomes memory, becomes soil, becomes seed for another. The ending is never absolute. It is always transition. Pause again. Imagine a circle drawn in sand. You follow. It's curved with your finger. You cannot find the beginning. You cannot find the end. Every point leads to another. Endings are only perspective. The circle continues, quiet and eternal. The universe may be such a circle. Its end may be no more real than the end of a circle's line. Science whispers this too. Matter is never destroyed. Energy is never erased. What looks like ending is only exchange. The law of conservation is a law of illusions undoing. Your body itself is proof of this. Every cell is borrowed material. Every breath is recycled air. The water you drink has been many things before. Ice, vapor, river, rain. It is never lost. It is only changed. The universe follows the same law. Pause once more. Imagine you light a candle. It burns slowly, melts, smoke rises, heat warms your skin. Eventually, the flame goes out. You tell yourself the candle has ended. The wax remains in air, in vapor, in warmth. The molecules are still, here only unseen. The ending was not real. It was transformation. Endings as illusions appear everywhere. Stars die, but their dust becomes planets. Trees fall, but their trunks feed soil. Languages fade, but their words live in new tongues. Even memories you think are gone reappear in dreams, reshaped, retold. Endings are only stories the mind tells to make sense of change. Pause again. Imagine a butterfly emerging from cocoon. The caterpillar is gone. It has ended. And yet, not really. It continues, changed, reborn with wings. The end was illusion. The story was continuation. Perhaps the universe is the same. Perhaps its end is only metamorphosis. Asterisk philosophy agrees. Some traditions teach that death itself is illusion, that nothing ever ceases, only shifts state. The cosmos may follow the same rhythm. It cannot end. It can only transform. And you, being part of it, cannot end either. You can only shift, change, become. Pause once more. Imagine tonight, you dream of a door. You walk through, believing you are leaving one room forever, but on the other side is simply another space, lit differently, shaped differently, but still part of the same house. The door was an illusion. The house never ended. Endings in life, in the cosmos, may be such doors taught science hints at this through cycles. Galaxies born from dust. Dust born from galaxies. Expansion leading to collapse. Collapse leading to rebirth. Everywhere you look, continuity masquerades as endings. But the truth remains. Nothing truly stops. It only changes. Pause again. Imagine a melody. One note fades into silence. It feels ended. But the silence is not empty. It holds the memory of the note. It prepares the space for the next. The end of the note is part of the song. It is not final. It is necessary. The universe may be the same. Its end may be silence, but that silence is still part of the song. Asterisk, there is comfort here, because it means you are never erased. It's not your atoms, not your moments, not your dreams. They shift, they scatter, they transform, but they do not vanish. You are carried forward, woven into continuities unseen. Pause once more. Imagine waves across a pond. One ripple fades. Its energy carries into others, touching shore, moving reeds, feeding back into the water. The ripple is gone, but its effect continues. Endings are ripples fading, yet never lost. Some scientists even suggest that the universe itself is eternal, not in its form, but in its principle. Energy, matter, information, all indestructible, all recycled. If universes end, new ones begin. If galaxies collapse, others rise. The stage may shift, but the play continues. Pause again. Imagine fireflies glowing in a dark field. One light disappears, but soon another shines, and another. The darkness is never absolute. The end of one glow is only the making of space for another. Perhaps the cosmos is such a field. Its lights flicker, but never end. This vision helps you see endings gently. They are not failures. They are not loss. They are transitions, illusions created by perspective. Your life is one thread in the fabric. You see, its beginning and end. But the fabric itself has no edge. It continues, woven beyond sight. Pause once more. Imagine closing your eyes at night. You surrender to sleep. It feels like an ending. Then dreams rise. Another story begins. Sleep itself proves that endings are illusions. The universe may be no different. What feels like final night may only be dreams beginning. There is peace in this, because it means you can rest. You do not need to fear silence. You do not need to fear endings. They are illusions of sight, illusions of time. What you are cannot be erased. It can only change. Pause again. Imagine water flowing through your hands. You cannot hold it. It slips away. You tell yourself, the water is gone. But it is not gone. It has only flowed on to river, to sea, to sky. Endings are like this. They are movements. They never lost. This prepares us gently for the next reflection. For if endings are illusions, then perhaps what you call now is not truly final either. Perhaps even after the universe ends, dreaming continues, dreaming after the end, as though nothing was lost. Asterisk, the illusion of endings lingers. You have seen that every end is only transformation, that every silence carries continuity, that every vanishing is another unfolding. But one more thought remains, soft as twilight. What if dreaming itself continues, even after the end? What if the universe has already passed, yet you still drift within its dream? Pause and imagine this. A storybook closes, The cover shuts. The tale is finished, but the characters live on in your mind. You dream of them. You carry them. They move beyond the pages. The story is over. But the dreaming continues. The universe may be the same. Its cover closed, but its dream continues within you. Science cannot confirm this, but hints appear in memory, in perception, in the strange fabric of consciousness. For even when external things fade, the inner world continues. When a song stops, you can still hum its melody. When a fire dies, you can still feel its warmth. When a loved one is gone, you still see their face in memory. Dreams continue after endings. So too, perhaps, with the universe itself. Pause again. Imagine falling asleep tonight. The world around you fades. Your room dissolves. Your body grows heavy. Okay? And yet, within your mind, new worlds arise. Landscapes, faces, stories. They feel real. You live inside them, but they are only dreams. Okay? Your universe now is the same, a dream that outlasts its source. Quantum physics whispers possibility. Perception lags behind reality. You always live slightly delayed, in echoes, in afterimages. So if the universe has already ended, perhaps, your consciousness still plays its frames. Perhaps your awareness is the projector running long after the reel is done. In that way, you are dreaming after the end. Pause once more. Imagine a bell rung in a vast canyon. The strike is finished. The metal is silent, but the sound continues, bouncing, echoing, filling the space with music. The bell has ended, but the echo lingers. Streaming after the end is such an echo. So the strike may be past, but the music continues in you. This idea is not despair. It is tender, because it suggests that life is generous, that even after the end, you are allowed to dream. That endings cannot silence the inner glow. Dreams move on, soft as breath, gentle as tide. Pause again. Imagine a lantern in the night. Its flame is extinguished, yet your eyes still see its glow, a faint afterimage on your vision. The lantern is gone. The light is still alive in you. That is what it means to dream after the end, to carry the light of something past, long after its source has vanished. Some philosophers suggest that consciousness itself is not bound by time, that awareness flows differently, that it may persist even when worlds dissolve. If true, then you are already more than the universe. You are dreamer as well as dream. The universe may be ended, but your awareness is still dreaming, still wandering its echoes. Pause once more. Imagine standing in a great cathedral. The choir sings. Their last note rises, filling the air. They stop singing, but the sound still reverberates, rolling through stone arches. The singers are silent, but you still hear their song. The universe may be such a cathedral, the choir long finished, but you still carried by its resonance. Science speaks of information that can never be destroyed. Even in black holes, even in heat death, it may only be transformed, not erased. Perhaps consciousness itself is part of that information. Perhaps awareness continues, not forever in the same form, but as echo, as dream, as resonance that does not vanish. Pause again. Imagine a pebble dropped into water. The ripples spread outward. Eventually, the pond is still again. But for a time, the ripples travel, long after the pebble has sunk. Dreaming after the end is such a ripple. The pebble is gone, but the water remembers. There is comfort here, 'cause it means you are safe. Even if the universe ended, you are still held in its dream. You are still living its glow. You are still carried in its echo. No ending can take this from you. Pause. Once more. Imagine tonight you fall into a deep dream. You dream of forests, of oceans, of stars. When you wake, you realize those places did not exist. not in the way you thought, but they were real in you. And that was enough. The universe itself may be such a dream, already ended, but still alive in your perception. Dreaming after the end is not fantasy. It is continuity of experience. Your brain already shows you that perception lingers after stimulus. The eye carries afterimages. The ear rings with echoes. The heart carries memory. Why not the cosmos, too? Why not awareness itself? Dreaming long after the end. Pause again. Imagine an artist painting. They finish the canvas, set the brush aside. The painting is complete. But you, years later, still see it. You still feel its colors. The artist's work has ended, but its dream continues in you. The universe may be such a painting, complete, but still being seen. This idea brings peace, because it frees you from urgency. There is no need to cling, no need to fear. Even after the end, you are still dreaming. Even after the story, you are still carried in its glow. Pause once more. Imagine lying in bed tonight, the city quiet around you. You close your eyes, the day has ended, but within, your mind begins again. Dreams rise, stories unfold. The day is gone, but you are still living. Okay, this is the essence of dreaming after the end. The universe may be gone, okay, but you are still within its dream. Some scientists suggest that time itself may not end, okay? What you call ending is only a boundary of perception, that beyond awareness continues in another form. Not eternity as permanence, but eternity as dreaming. Not life without change, but life as transformation. This is the comfort that nothing is ever lost. Pause again. Imagine a horizon at sea. You watch the sun set, slipping beyond the line. You tell yourself, the day has ended. But on the other side, the sun is rising. The world is still dreaming. Your view was the illusion, but the universe may be the same. Its ending only horizon, its story still rising elsewhere. Dreaming after the end is not denial. It is acceptance that experience continues, even when the source has passed. It is the comfort of echoes, of ripples, of resonance. It is the realization that you are never outside the dream. You are the dream itself, and the dream continues. Pause once more. Imagine fireflies in a dark meadow. One by one, they vanish, but your eyes still see their trails, their faint lines across the night. The fireflies are gone, but the dream of their light remains. You live in such trails now, in such lines of memory, and they are enough. This is the softest truth. The universe may have ended, but you are still dreaming after it. And that is not illusion. That is continuity. That is life. Pause again. Imagine closing a book, but leaving it in your lap. You lean back, close your eyes, and still see its images. The book is done, but its dream continues. The cosmos may be that book, and you, still dreaming its pages. This brings us gently to rest. For even the thought of endings cannot silence the dream. Even silence is part of the story. Even after the end, you are still here, breathing, dreaming, carried in the echo. The series of reflections closes here, but not with an ending, because there are no endings, only continuations, only echoes, only dreams. And tonight, as you drift deeper into rest, remember this. Perhaps the universe has already ended, but you are still dreaming, and that dream is endless.